What's up, guys? Today we're going to be installing a non-stop tuning short throw shifter replacement, as well as acuity base bushings. We're going to get rid of a little bit of that shifter slot, which is not fun. As you can see, this thing is just way too long of a throw, and we can't have that. Alright guys, right off the bat, I went ahead and open this thing up. It reminds me a lot of a TWM Performance replacement shifter. I actually used to have one back in my 2011 SI I had that I bought back in 2011. They're no longer in business. This really reminds me, everything about it reminds me of a TWM shifter. Seems pretty well built. Looking at it, one thing I would like to see is more weld surface here. I don't know, got a little undercut on it. I don't know, maybe a good quality weld, but I could see that being a weak point. This sucker feels really good, so we're gonna get it put together. Comes with 3 bolts to bolt those 2 halves together. And here's the acuity bushings, the base bushings we're gonna be putting in. So we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling. All right, here we're gonna have to pull the shift knob, the shift boot, this piece right here, which actually, as you can see, just pulls up. It's got 4 clips on it. We're gonna have to remove this upper console, and I can't remember if we've got to slide this part back, but we're gonna go ahead and get that going. There's our factory shifter right there. Alright guys, so we've got 2 screws in here. Those right there you could use a Phillips screwdriver for, or looks to be a 10mm if you want to. But we're going to take this whole console and slide this whole thing back. After you've got those 2 screws pulled out, you're going to pull, you've got some clips right there. You're gonna pull that one, and on the opposite side you've got one. You're gonna take both of those out, and then that may be enough to slide it back. We'll see. Okay, I was wrong, guys. So after you get the clips out, you're gonna have that screw to take out and that screw to take out. All right, with those 2 screws out, you're gonna kind of lift back here and pull straight back, and that should be all the clearance we need to do this job right here. Now we're going to go ahead and pull these 3 screws, these bolts out right here. We've got 3. That's what holds the base to the car. Okay, now with the shifter free, we're gonna go ahead and open up these clips right here. We're just gonna spread these things open. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. I know I can do it though. There we go. Just spread them open and it's gonna come back off. Don't lose the clip. You have to have that clip. Okay. Now we have to take our cables loose from the shifter assembly down there. So I might need to get the console board out of the way. I'm not sure yet. Alright guys, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get the cables loose. So you can see in here, that tab right there and that piece, keeping it from rotating clockwise. You have to turn this counterclockwise and pull it out to the side at the same time. Twist it, pull it right out. Now we have to do the same with the one down here. I'm gonna do that one off camera. All right, when you go to put this piece on that holds the cables, you're gonna need a 13mm or 1/2" socket and a 5mm Allen key. And just tighten all three of those down really good. All right, next thing we have to do, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show this on camera. We're gonna pull this spring off. It's just gonna slide towards us this way. We have to reuse that spring. That's for our neutral, which centers back and forth from neutral. Springs in, everything seems to function fine. It's returning to neutral. I am probably going to dab a little bit more grease on that. Alright, now the fun part is going to be going back together with everything. Everything is just reverse order of how we took it apart. Let's start with that cable to that far side on the passenger side. I believe we're there. Good deal. Next step we want to do is we're going to go ahead and hook up our cables. It's just as easy as lining everything up right here. Pushing the ends over. Okay. And now you may have a gap where the cables are pushing back on the shifter. That's nothing to worry about because you're gonna have bushings go underneath it, and the cables also will push through the body of the car a little bit, so it's really no big deal. So next step is gonna be to start installing, in my case, acuity shifter-based bushings. There is absolutely no reason to do all this work and put the factory rubber bushings back in. In personal preference here, I'm just going to be using a little bit of medium strength Loctite just because of exhaust vibration and whatever mounts end up in this car one day. Definitely say I'm not really a fan of the purple that Acuity likes to use, but I don't mind it too bad because none of this stuff is going to be visible. I think these cars look better with a shift boot on versus showing off the shifter, so even if you've got a high dollar hybrid shifter or an Acuity shifter, I believe they look better covered up. Makes the car look and feel more complete. To tighten these bolts, you're gonna need a 5mm Allen. You could use a regular L wrench, or in my case, I'm putting one on an impact driver. All right, now we're gonna do a little bit of a function check. Just put the shift knob on there because it's pretty hard. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Kind of hard to find fifth. Well, never mind. Never mind, just gotta get used to it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse. Right, nothing to it. Easy. You don't want to push all the way over, because you actually overthrow your reverse gear. So, golly, that's short, man. Awesome. Alright guys, so far, very, very pleased with it. I'm gonna go ahead and start buttoning this thing back up, probably do it off camera. But very, very pleased. Like I said before, it reminds me a lot of the TWM shifter. Like I said, I had one of those. They were like this is, you had the billet aluminum piece right here, and then the main frame of it was steel. So pretty much the same exact construction. So yeah, I'm gonna get it all back together. I'll show y'all what it looks like. Guys, that's gonna be a wrap on the install. I'm sorry for the dark video. It's at night and I'm just sitting out here in the garage doing this. It feels awesome. I would definitely recommend it, especially for the price point. I think this was, around $100 shipped, something to that nature. And the bushings, I think, were $40 for those. So versus $400+ I think this is a pretty good deal. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank y'all for watching. All right guys, I've got a video if y'all are interested in seeing it too. If you can see that right there, you have an 8th gen. You're very familiar with that right there. That is the trim that goes behind the drip rail trim. It's just a little thin piece of plastic. They get brittle, they break. 9 times out of 10 of the 8th gens, when you see them, they've got that. So if you're interested, I've got a fix for that. It involves a foam gasket material. It's very, very cheap, and I'll be doing a video on that. And also, we can't forget the, let's see, I've only got one hand here. We also can't forget the broken intake boot that I've been saying we're gonna address. So right now on the way, I have it's an engine knockoff. Can't remember the brand, but it's basically an identical rep of an engine cold air intake, where it takes a 90 right here, goes down, and your filter is behind the front bumper, this driver's side corner. I've got that coming. Eventually, we're gonna get down and do some probably K-tune cable bushings. This wasn't really a big rush for right now, but I do want to eventually get that done. Also, one thing I want to do with this car is a timing kit. I need a new chain and tensioner. I know that. It recently started rattling upon cold startup. So if I'm doing that and pulling the motor to do that, we're going to go ahead and Probably won't be a tutorial on getting the engine out. Anything, I may time lapse it. It'll come out. We're gonna do a timing kit on it, and we're gonna do a Type S oil pump. I don't think I have anything else to do on the inside of the engine. I don't feel like it. I think everything's good, but that's just stuff to see in the future. I've also got an oil leak that just developed, so the timing kit and the oil leak kind of go hand in hand, so that kind of works out. Anyways, thank y'all for watching again, and we'll see you on the next one. Also, almost forgot, still have to do the Cerakote on the headlights. These are in pretty rough shape. We're gonna sand those and Cerakote them, and I still have fog lights to install, so that's got to get done. Also, for any LED lighting, y'all keep in mind auxito.com. I'll put a link in the description. Any of your LED lighting, interior, exterior, it doesn't matter. Check out auxito.com. There'll be a link in the description. Use my code. Get, I believe it's 10%, maybe 15% off. I can't remember. Anyway, thank y'all. Like, share, subscribe, comment. See y'all on the next one. First impressions, I absolutely love it. Wow. Looks good, feels good. Thank y'all for watching. More content on the way.